What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? We are back, and we officially have a matchup for Monday. LSU is taking on Iowa again. We are having a rematch of the national championship game, and that's because Iowa just demolished Colorado. Like, this game was basically over from the jump, and Iowa wins 89-68. Now, I was expecting a closer game than this. I was expecting a way closer game than this, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Iowa showed up ready to play. They showed up and showed out. They had speed. They had smart passes. And Colorado just couldn't hit shots. And that was the ball game basically right there. Colorado couldn't hit shots, and Iowa could, and that was the game. So guys, this was a little bit of an underwhelming game. So it's kind of a bummer of sorts. Like we started off the game with a huge one with LSU versus UCLA, and then this one, a little bit more underwhelming, but we're still going to recap the game. We're still going to talk about it because it still is very interesting to talk about. So the game started, and basically Iowa had their foot on the gas at the beginning. We saw Caitlin do her thing again, and she sort of got scoring sort of later on in the game, but early on it was passing. It was Caitlin Clark's passing where she was getting her teammates involved and whipping some crazy passes that I was like, whoa, how did she see that? Just pass at the pass at the pass at the pass. And for Colorado, they couldn't really stop it. They couldn't really stop it at all. When you talk about Colorado, they kind of have like a big-ish three in Jalen Sherrod, Frida Foreman, and Aronette Von Lay. And Jalen was good in terms of passing the ball, but in terms of scoring, they needed more scoring from Jalen. They needed way more scoring from Jalen. I thought that she didn't look that great from a 3-point shooting perspective, from a just regular just get shots up perspective. Like she did as much as she could, but Colorado needed someone to carry the team, and they just didn't have it. Aronette Von Lay, I thought she looked really good at times, especially against Stokey, and I felt like Colorado should have fed Von Lay the ball a lot more and just sort of played through her. It wouldn't have been like the cleanest of games, but I thought that could have been a strategy that they actually didn't really go for. Also, at some point, Colorado was playing a zone, and Iowa just absolutely demolished that. They absolutely demolished that. And once again, we see this Iowa team just get the job done, get shots to fall, and that was the result of the game. So Colorado took 72 shots today. 72. They were 27 of 72 from the field today, 37%. And we compare that, again, 72 shots. Compare that to what Iowa did today. Iowa took 65 shots. And how many did they make? They made 35. They were 53% from the field today. And that was the ball game. Iowa was making smart reads. They were making smart cuts. Caitlin Clark was passing that ball. She was whipping that ball throughout the entire game. It was like, man, I need to see a highlight reel of what Caitlin Clark did today, because it was masterful pass after masterful pass after masterful pass. Like, this is something that, man, it's special to see. It really is special to see Caitlin Clark do her thing. And it wasn't just, she wasn't just passing it to nobody, right? In order for her to get those 15 assists, players had to have hit shots. and her players were hitting shots. We saw Gabbie Marshall. Gabbie Marshall had 14 points in this game. She was 4 of 5 from the 3-point line. Like when we look at like last year, right? We remember Gabbie Marshall sort of going off in the NCAA tournament. And for Iowa to have success in the tournament, you need Gabbie Marshall to show up and hit those threes. What did she do today? She hit those threes. And also, she played some great defense. Like Gabbie Marshall, if she's not going to score, at least she's going to play some defense. But I thought that she played some really good defense today. And she was able to get baskets in the paint. She was able to get baskets in the hole. And then Kate Martin, of course, Kate Martin does her thing. She almost had a double-double in this game with 9 rebounds, 14 points. Kate Martin just, they call her the glue for a reason. She just does her job, and she just does it really well. And then Cynia Falter. Cynia Falter has been starting since Molly Davis has been out. Molly Davis is still out. She did not play in today's game. I think it's likely that we will not see Molly Davis for the rest of the tournament. Maybe if they make it to the championship game, maybe we'll see her then. But I don't think we're going to see Molly Davis. But Cynia Falter has done her job and done it very, very well for the squad. Very, very well. She does finish with 15 points in this game. And then Hannah Stokey. I thought Hannah Stokey had some good moments as well. She only had 11 points in this game, but she does finish with a double-double with 10 points. 10 rebounds. And they just look good. They cruise to a win. It's as y'all know, I want to see great games. I want to see potential upsets. I want to see very, very close basketball. And this wasn't that, When we look at this Colorado team, they have moments where they look really, really good. And today, it just wasn't their day. They just didn't have it. They took shots that were ill-advised. They made, not so great decisions on the offensive end. They did pass the ball. They did share the ball around, which was great. But all in all, they couldn't take advantage of the many opportunities they had. They had 72 field goals in today's game. And, they just couldn't get efficient. And that was the ball game. Iowa does win. And let's see what y'all got to say in the comments below. Hogboss says, so y'all really think they can match up with LSU, who want to bet their savings on Iowa? Hogboss, Iowa has a chance. I'm just saying. I personally think that LSU is going to beat Iowa. But I do think Iowa has a huge chance. Because Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark. If she is able to pass the ball like she was today, and if her teammates are able to actually hit shots, they have a chance. They have a chance. They absolutely have a chance. Is it likely? Personally, I would say no. But we're going into the Elite Eight. We are going to the Elite Eight. This is when stuff matters the most, right? This is when it really, really matters. This is when all the marbles, are in for this. And it's about to be a fun time. It is about to be a fun time because we will get to see that rematch of the national championship game. So guys, I want y'all to get ready. I want y'all to get ready because we about to have some fun. We about to have a whole lot of fun for women's college basketball because I think they said in the commentary, they said a date with destiny. It's about to be a date with destiny for Iowa versus South Carolina. Not South Carolina. Iowa versus LSU. So yeah. Guys, let me know in the chat overall what you felt about this game. Overall, let me know your thoughts. Because again, this was like total domination. That was basically what this game was. It was like Mortal Kombat where you just it was total domination. And Colorado just couldn't get anything really going throughout the game. And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. For the most part, we can expect very, very close games, but this one was not that. This one was not that at all. Yeah, Michaela says Caitlin Clark's passing was just ridiculous. It was. It was. It absolutely was. It was very, very fun to watch. And I was just like, man. Pass after pass after pass after pass. And she was threading the needle. Caitlin was threading the needle. It was like if the ball goes, if you spin the ball slightly different, it doesn't get to where it needs to go. And the spin that she was putting on that basketball, I was like, wow. Okay. All right. Caitlin Clark is doing it again. Alicia says the rematch we all want. I don't know if it's necessarily the rematch we all want. I think for sure it is the rematch that TV networks want. It is the rematch that ESPN has wanted all season, because you guys know ratings are going to be through the roof ratings for this game, through the roof. Because again, like last year for the championship game, those ratings were through the roof. And y'all know we're gonna see some records of how many people are gonna watch Monday's game. And again, this is Monday night in prime time. We're gonna see Caitlin versus Big Foe. You know, we're seeing Hannah Stokey versus Angel Reese. Like this is about to be a fun. It's about to be a fun. Fun matchup. Fun matchup. I'm Great Now says we don't all want that. I mean, the networks want it, and the networks get what they want. So the networks have wanted this, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. Marty says hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button. That would be fantastic, guys. We just finished watching Iowa versus Colorado. Iowa demolished Colorado. The game was over basically right at the start. Caitlin Clark did her thing once again with another double-double. 15 assists, guys. 15 assists in this game. She just continues to do her thing. And it wasn't just her, you know. And also, it wasn't just her passing. She had 29 points in this game. 29 points, 15 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, and 1 block. So those are the stats for Caitlin Clark today. And we will see if she's able to do something similar against LSU on Monday. Again, that game is going to be on Monday. For Colorado, they just didn't have it from the start. They had a pretty slow-ish start with only 14 points in that first quarter. They picked it up a notch in that second quarter. And I was like, they sort of had a little bit of momentum at the end of the second quarter. And I was like, okay, well, maybe Colorado has some momentum. Maybe they can make something happen, but no. And the reason why I said they had some momentum is because they were what's her name? Sadler for Colorado. She was able to score a bucket as the time was basically winding down in the first half, and it felt like Colorado had a little bit of energy. So I was like, okay, are we gonna see Colorado? Yes, they were losing 35 to 48 at the end of the first half, but I was like, okay, well maybe Colorado has a little bit of momentum coming into the third quarter, but that was not the case. That was not the case at all. They came into the third quarter, and it was just basically over from there. They had some turnovers. You know, Iowa started scoring. Like Iowa continued to score, and it was about over. So it wasn't the most. It wasn't the funnest game to watch. It really wasn't. Like I wanted a close game. I really did. I wanted it to be very, very close. I thought I was gonna win regardless, but I wanted it to be a close game, but it wasn't. So you know, it is what it is. But guys, shout out to Jalen Sherrod. Jalen Sherrod, her career at Colorado is over. Guys who don't know, Jalen Sherrod has been with the program for a long time. She wanted to play for Colorado was one of the programs that recruited her, and was one of the rare programs that recruited her. Like a lot of D1 schools didn't really pay attention to Jalen Sherrod. But she got recruited for Colorado, and she stuck with the program. And we remember last year she's had some huge bursts of like awesome play. Jalen Sherrod really is the heart and soul of her squad, and it's her career at Colorado is over. But guys, I don't know if y'all heard in the game, but she has multiple degrees. This girl, yeah, of course she can play some basketball, but also Jalen Sherrod is extremely, extremely smart. She just didn't have it. She had a lot of hustle. She just couldn't make her shots. And the rest of her team couldn't make their shots either. So that was the ball game for you. That was the ball game. Iowa wins. Colorado doesn't. Iowa versus LSU on Monday. All right, guys. So let me know. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to do a poll time. Everybody, poll time. Poll time. So I'm gonna ask who will win on Monday. Is it the number 1 seed Iowa or the number 3 seed LSU? Let me know in the chats who is going to win. All right, so let me know. The poll has started. I do want to hear what you all have to say, and we'll discuss it. Eloise says, you can't see me rematch on Monday. Yeah. Ozzy said the pass to Stokey with the underspin and just before the buzz. Yeah, I mean, the passes were crazy. The passes that Caitlin Clark had were crazy. Bree says, lots of pressure. I hope both teams are able to tune it out. Easier said than done, though. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pressure for days, because this is the game that is going to be hyped up. I guarantee you tomorrow, even though there's games happening tomorrow, Elite 8 games happening tomorrow, I guarantee you the first thing on everyone's lips when they go to halftime, when they're doing the preview shows and whatnot, it is LSU versus Iowa. That's the conversation. That's what the conversation is going to be. Because everybody's going to want to talk about Caitlin Clark, and is she going to be able to take down LSU? That's what's going to be the conversation. Because whoever wins that, I think whoever wins that, we're going to see them. They're pretty much going to be in the championship game, in my opinion. Whoever wins this Iowa versus LSU game, which in my opinion it is Iowa. Not Iowa. I do believe LSU is going to win against Iowa, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. RC says, well, we meet the sworn enemy again. And RC's heart cannot take losing to LSU again. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Your team has a chance. It's a slim chance, but your team has a chance. Michaela says, who is doubting LSU? I think LSU are the clear favorites to win this game. In my opinion, I do think they're the favorites to win the game. Well, actually, I would say Iowa is probably the favorite to win the game because technically Iowa is a number 1 seed. But to me, LSU has more firepower than Iowa does. So I think that's the thing. Yes, Caitlin can go off. Yes, she can pass the ball like crazy to her teammates. But ultimately, you got Caitlin Clark, Gabbie Marshall, who is so, did play well today, but we'll see what she does against LSU. We have Kate Martin. We have Hannah Stokey in the paint, right? Who can show up, though I feel like she's going to severely struggle against LSU. You have Sydney Falter, who can do her thing as well. You got that team versus Haley Van Liff, Anissa Morrow, Flau'jae Johnson, Angel Reese, and Michaela Williams. Like I think it is an uphill battle for Iowa. Do I think that there is a pathway for victory for Iowa? Yes, I do. I do think there's a pathway for victory for Iowa. But it's going to be an uphill battle, in my opinion. It is going to be an uphill battle for Iowa. Constance says we need to play clean and lock them down on defense. Nina says, love both Iowa and LSU. Not looking forward to Monday's game. Why not? Yeah, I agree. The Colorado Iowa game wasn't very entertaining. No, it wasn't. Constance says, I thought it would have been a better defensive game. Yeah, but Iowa started running, and it was basically over. Yeah, Jalen Sherrod, she did all she could. She just didn't have a shot. She just didn't have a shot today. Hogboss says LSU is too fast and athletic for Iowa. Marcus says LSU is too complete for Iowa. I mean, Constance says Iowa isn't big enough. Lauren says get your popcorn ready. LSU all the way. I mean, we will see. Because guys, I will tell you, anybody can get got. And in this case, while Iowa is the higher seed, to me, this feels like a game that LSU is going to win. Do I think LSU is going to dominate Iowa? No, I don't. I think Iowa is going to lose, and the game is going to be determined by probably like 9 or 10 points. Like I don't think this is going to be a blowout in any case. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, and it's going to come to the fourth quarter, and LSU, similar to what they did today against UCLA, will just edge out the competition. So that's my opinion of what is going to happen in the game, LSU versus Iowa. Marcus, what LA Times article? What's the LA Times article about? Ken says, so it really comes down to who shows up Monday and how they call the game. I mean, yeah, we'll see who shows up. I mean, I think for sure, the cast of characters who showed up today are going to show up on Monday as well. We're going to see Big Foe do her thing. We're going to see Caitlin do her thing. We're going to see Anissa Morrow. We're going to see Kate Martin. And everybody else. We just have to see what happens. But I think the players who showed up today are going to show up on Monday. So yeah. James says Iowa will take it all this time. Okay. All right. We will see. Delane says, would love to see an Iowa versus South Carolina rematch, so I need for Iowa to pull out the win on Monday. Well, we'll see. I mean, we're either getting the Iowa South Carolina rematch, or we're going to see an LSU South Carolina rematch. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the results of the poll. Let's take a look at the results. All right. Let me pull that up on the screen. All right, so here are the results. So we got 109 people who did the survey. 52% says LSU is going to win on Monday. 39% said Iowa, and 9% is not sure. Well, we'll see. I mean, that's not that huge of a margin that LSU has. So we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens on Monday. We will absolutely see. LSU Tigers who says Quita picked LSU to beat UCLA. I did. Yeah. I picked um LSU to beat UCLA, and I also picked um LSU to beat Iowa as well. But we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see. Shout out to David. Thank you so much, David, for the super sticker. It is a game over tag. For some reason, I can't pull it up to like show it on the screen, but I do thank you so much, David, for the super sticker. The super sticker says game over. Do y'all remember when I saw that, it makes me think in my head. Y'all know that game over song? Was it Lil Flip? It was like game over flip, 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 flip. Anyway, it was a song back in the day. I used to like that song. Now I gotta, after the stream is over, I'm gonna go listen to that song. I haven't heard it in years. But I don't know. You made me think of that, David. Thank you so much for the super sticker. JB says, since the SEC tournament, Flage has been LSU's best player. She is on another level. Absolutely. I agree with that. Yes, she has been their best player since the tournament. Absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. Michael says, Angel and Anissa are going to eat on the glass. They are. Hogball says, did y'all see Kim Mulkey's post-game interview? LSU will be on fire because that's where all the injuries hate came from, and from beating Iowa. Oh, well, yeah. I haven't seen her post-game presser, so we'll see. Ty says, so no one thinks South Carolina has their work cut out for them against Oregon State tomorrow. I mean, I think they have their work cut out for them. I do. I think they have their work cut out for them. Like Oregon State is not a scrub team. Oregon State is, in my opinion, better than Indiana. And we saw how close that Indiana versus South Carolina game was. Yes, South Carolina won, but that game was very, very close. Like I anticipate this game tomorrow between South Carolina and Oregon State to be very close. I see that being a very close game. I really do. I really, really do. Because Oregon State is a team that Oregon State is a team that can get hot from three-point land, and they can light you up. Yes, South Carolina can shoot threes, but Oregon State can really shoot some threes. And I think that you know, I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a tough one. You know, will South Carolina win? In my opinion, yes. But you got Tamia Gardner, who I thought was like, she had like a welcoming party for her yesterday. I thought she played phenomenal for Oregon State. You have Reagan Beers, who is always really, really good for her squad. You know, I think it's important that we give Oregon State the credit that they are due. They're a tough team. And I don't believe it's going to be a cakewalk tomorrow at all. I don't. Yes. Do I believe South Carolina will win? Yes. Do I also believe, similarly to Indiana, how I said that I believed Indiana had a pathway to win? I do believe Oregon State has a pathway to win and beat South Carolina. I do. That's going to start with 3-point shooting and hitting those 3-point shots consistently. That's what it involves. Reagan Beers moving Camila Cardoso out of the paint, because Oregon State is a team that does a lot of cutting and does a lot of screens and whatnot. And so getting her out the paint, getting her moving on the perimeter that's gonna basically force her to get in foul trouble right there. So I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a tough one. But yes, I do believe that South Carolina still will win. But it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a very, very close game. Mrs. G says Oregon State has played 13 games against top 25 opponents this season. Yeah, Oregon State's a tested team, and Oregon State played in the Pac-12. Yes, the SEC is tough. The SEC is very tough, but y'all, the Pac-12 is a very, very tough league. It is. And I think making it through that gauntlet means something. So we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see. David, thank you so much for the super sticker. David says Iowa versus South Carolina is my prediction. Oh, and okay, well, I mean that would be fun to watch. That would be absolutely fun to watch. Tangela says, Quita, no one is talking about Texas. That's the team that might win it all. I think it's going to come down to coaching. I think Texas coach is a very good women's coach. He gets the most out of his players. Facts. Y'all, Vic Schaefer, formerly in the SEC, Vic Schaefer is a phenomenal women's basketball coach. Like, phenomenal. And he has taken this Texas team and made them a fierce competitor. I absolutely do think that Texas is a huge challenge going forward. We'll see. Again, we'll see what happens, but like Texas very well could be a Final Four team. Again, they play tomorrow, but they very well could be a Final Four team. When we talk about the grittiness and toughness of Texas, you had Rory Harmon, heart and soul of the team earlier this season, got injured, out for the rest of the season. Who steps up? Madison Booker, a freshman, comes out of nowhere, or not comes out of nowhere, but she was already good, but she stepped it up to another level when Rory Harmon got injured. And who else has been showing up lately? Who else? Aaliyah Moore. Aaliyah Moore has been showing up and showing out for Texas, and she has been one of my favorite players to watch for Texas because it's not just about her scoring, it's about just her movement on the offensive end. It's her movement on the defensive end. I really like Aaliyah Moore. I think she is such a fun player, and she's only a junior, so I can't wait to continue to watch her play for Texas. Texas is good. Absolutely. Texas is a good squad. And NC State, in my opinion, Texas will beat NC State. So tomorrow, here's my predictions for tomorrow's games. I do believe that South Carolina will beat Oregon State, and I also believe Texas will beat NC State. Both games are going to be very close, but ultimately, yes, I do think Texas is making it to the Final Four because they're a great squad, and they're coached very, very well, very, very well. So yeah, maybe people aren't really talking about Texas, but they should be. Yeah, they should be. Destiny Pirate says the flow of Clark's game today almost brought tears to my eyes. How she sees those angels with timing. She's breathing air that no one else ever has. Now plus number one scorer, and she is the number 3 dimer. Impossible. Yeah. Well, they mentioned it in the game today that now when it comes to passing, Caitlin Clark is now in the same breath as Courtney Vandersloot, which is like crazy. So yeah, not only is she an elite shot shooter, but also she is an elite passer as well. with assists. JB says Texas is lurking, just quietly running through their bracket and playing their best basketball. The Longhorns are scary. They are. Yeah. They are. Hogba says, like UCLA coach said, this is the toughest bracket. I mean, this has been a very tough bracket. Yeah, this has been a very tough bracket. But it's fun. It is fun to watch. It is absolutely fun to watch this basketball like this. I'm excited, guys. We are in the second quarter of USC versus Baylor. USC is winning 32-24. Yeah, we have 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Marcus said I really predicted Colorado to win because my trust in Iowa is so little. what an idiot. Don't be so hard on yourself, Marcus. We all have bad picks. Even myself. We all have bad picks sometimes. Rachel says, I think if Iowa played as well as they did today, they most definitely could beat LSU. I mean, they could beat LSU. Absolutely. Absolutely. Will they? Is it likely? In my opinion, no. But, they could. I saw somebody Shane says, is there a Taylor Jones update? So for those who don't know, Taylor Jones, who plays at Texas, she didn't play in their last game yesterday against Gonzaga because she had a concussion. I'm gonna look and see where she's at now and what's happening. Let's see if there's any update. All right, I'm finding an article real quick about to see when she will be back. All right, here's an article about Taylor Jones. So it says, of course, she sat out against Gonzaga. Coach Vic Schaefer said she's in concussion protocol. She was not available. She didn't get through yesterday, so she was not available. Gaston, of course, did replace Jones. And it says her status for Sunday's afternoon Portland 4 regional final against NC State is unknown. Okay. As warm-ups unfolded on Friday night, Jones was labeled as questionable by an athletic department spokesman, and she did not participate in warm-ups. She did participate in a portion of the warm-ups, but did not play. It says her injury was never clarified during the week, but it was related to a hard fall she took in Texas's second-round win over Alabama at the Moody Center. Jones left the game temporarily, but did return. So she returned, and turns out that she actually had a concussion at that point. That is the status of Taylor Jones. We will see if she plays. I think it's likely that she might not actually play, because concussions can take time, and it really depends on the person. So we'll see. But guys, that was, I just wanted to quickly do a quick recap of what was happening with that Iowa versus Colorado game. Again, not too much to talk about because it really was a pretty easy game. But yeah. Anyway, we have the matchup set for tomorrow. And guys, we are going to enjoy some phenomenal basketball. Tomorrow is Resurrection Sunday. It is Easter. It is the Elite Eight for women's college basketball. So yeah, lots of stuff on tomorrow. I will not be back today for another stream. I will be back tomorrow morning, again for another recap video that tells you everything you needed to know about today's games, including the USC versus Baylor game and the Duke versus UConn game as well. So yeah, that is the status of that. I may be back for some live streams tomorrow after some games are over. We will see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm rambling, so I think I'm going to just stop talking now. But again, got some fantastic games on. We got a fantastic game on right now. USC is beating Baylor 35-26. We will see what happens the rest of the way. Anyway, guys, that has been me doing a quick recap of Colorado versus Iowa. Iowa destroyed Colorado. And we have lots more women's basketball to look forward to. Thank you so much to the Patreon supporters. Thank you to all the folks who are on Patreon supporting this channel. I really do appreciate your financial support of this channel. It means so much. Yeah, that's it, guys. Until next time. Bye.